Do we truly grasp the immense significance of the first moments after waking up for our health and longevity? We're not talking about complicated and exhausting rituals, but simple yet incredibly effective actions that can have a powerful impact on our well-being throughout our lives. Scientific research convincingly demonstrates that incorporating simple morning habits can significantly reduce the risk of developing serious diseases and maintain vigor, activity, and mental clarity well into old age. However, sadly, a significant portion of people over 65 are either unaware of these possibilities or, even worse, simply ignore them, missing out on the chance for a healthier and more fulfilling life. But what if there were a golden formula consisting of just 5 simple steps capable of drastically improving the quality of life in old age, bringing tangible benefits and joy to each day? To fully appreciate the potential effectiveness of such a morning routine, let's turn to a real-life example. Consider the story of Harold, who, at 68 after retiring, faced serious health problems that clouded his life and made him reflect on the value of each day. Relentless fatigue, agonizing joint pain, and alarming results from cardiological examinations made him seriously consider the years ahead. It seemed that approaching old age was relentlessly undermining his vitality. But one day, by a stroke of luck, thanks to a neighbor's gentle advice, Harold decided to experiment, incorporating a simple, seemingly insignificant 5-minute morning routine into his life. Initial skepticism gradually gave way to amazement and delight when, after just a few short weeks, he felt clear, undeniable improvements in his well-being. And after only 6 months, his doctors were genuinely amazed by the dramatic changes in his health indicators. At 70, Harold feels full of energy and looks significantly younger, like a healthy, fit man in his mid-50s, all thanks to a few simple but effective elements that he methodically and gradually incorporated into his morning routine. The first and perhaps most important step towards longevity was the morning hydration protocol. It's well known that after a prolonged night's sleep, the human body is in a state of dehydration, even if there is no feeling of thirst. Imperceptible but constant fluid loss during breathing and sweating can lead to undesirable thickening of the blood and, as a result, a significant increase in the load on the fragile cardiovascular system. It's no wonder that insidious strokes and deadly heart attacks await humanity precisely in the morning hours, especially those over the age of 65. Medical luminaries strongly advise starting each new day with proper hydration of the body in order to minimize risks to the cardiovascular system, optimize blood circulation, activate brain activity, and improve metabolic processes. Immediately after waking up, without even leaving the cozy bed, it is recommended to drink about 480 milliliters of room-temperature water, flavored with 1/4 of a fresh lemon. Warm water helps to dilate blood vessels, as if opening the floodgates for free blood flow. And lemon, this treasure trove of electrolytes, potassium, and vitamin C, has the amazing ability to soften arteries, stabilize blood pressure, and have a powerful anti-inflammatory effect. It is extremely important to perform this healing ritual within the first minute after waking up, before consuming invigorating coffee, fragrant tea, or a hearty breakfast. The second essential element of this morning ceremony is the activation of blood circulation in the first 60 seconds after getting out of bed. After a long night's sleep, when the body is at rest, blood naturally flows to the lower extremities. This physiological process can lead to a decrease in the supply of oxygen to the brain, which in turn can cause unpleasant sensations of dizziness, disorientation, and even create the prerequisites for the formation of dangerous blood clots. However, there is an accessible and effective way to counteract these undesirable consequences. Just one simple sequence of physical exercises, taking no more than a minute, can significantly improve blood circulation and increase blood flow to the brain by more than 40%. Immediately after waking up and getting out of bed, it is recommended to stand upright, with your feet shoulder-width apart, for stability. Then, simultaneously with a deep breath through the nose, raise both arms overhead, stretching your entire body. After that, slowly and smoothly, lower your arms while exhaling through your mouth. To further stimulate blood circulation, perform shoulder rotations backward and forward, repeating each movement 5 times. To complete this morning exercise, do 10 toe raises, lifting your heels off the floor. This exercise will help activate the calf muscles and push blood from the lower extremities back to the heart, ensuring more efficient blood supply to the entire body. Incorporating this short but effective routine into your daily schedule will allow you to feel invigorated, energized, and ready for new achievements. Equally important to taking care of your health is the optimal timing of protein intake, especially for people over 65 years of age. At this age, the timing of protein food consumption becomes as important as the amount. The fact is that during the period from 3 a.m. to 8 a.m., the human body experiences an acceleration of muscle tissue breakdown. Therefore, consuming a sufficient amount of protein during this period can help slow down or even stop this process, helping to maintain muscle mass and strength in old age. Ignoring the body's need for protein in the morning is fraught with serious consequences. In conditions of deficiency of this essential nutrient, the body begins to use its own muscle tissue as a source of energy. This process, known as catabolism, leads to loss of muscle strength, weakening of immune defenses, and as a result, an increased risk of falls and injuries, which is especially important for older adults. Studies show that consuming 25-30 grams of high-quality protein within half an hour of waking up can have a significant impact on maintaining muscle mass in the long term, up to 5 years. An ideal morning source of protein could be a protein shake rich in amino acids, egg whites, which are highly digestible, Greek yogurt, which contains probiotics to support intestinal health, or plant-based protein, which is suitable for vegetarians and vegans. It is extremely important not to delay protein intake to a later time. Timely provision of the body with the necessary amount of protein at the beginning of the day not only helps to strengthen muscles and prevent their destruction, but also has a positive effect on energy levels, improves mobility, and supports cognitive functions, ensuring clarity of mind and concentration. Once the body has received the necessary nutrition to protect and maintain muscle mass, the next important step is to ensure freedom and fluidity of movement of muscles and joints from the first minutes of the new day. Often remaining in the shadows, this factor becomes one of the key reasons for loss of flexibility, dependence on outside help, and increased risk of falls in adulthood. Over time, many people experience joint discomfort, limited range of motion, and as a result, loss of the ability to function independently. However, paradoxically, the root of the problem often lies in neglecting elementary but extremely important morning procedures. Respected orthopedic specialists from the famous Mayo Clinic emphasize that synovial fluid, which acts as a lubricant and ensures smooth sliding of joint surfaces, has the property of becoming more viscous during nighttime rest. If morning joint warm-ups are ignored, the first movements after waking up are performed with increased resistance. This, in turn, leads to microscopic damage, which, accumulating over time, can provoke the development of chronic arthritis or degenerative processes in the joints, such as osteoarthritis. The solution to this problem is simple and accessible to everyone. After restoring the optimal level of hydration in the body, it is advisable to devote only 1.5 minutes to performing a simple set of exercises designed to activate the joints and prepare the main muscle groups for work. It is recommended to start sitting on the edge of the bed with rotational movements of the feet, 10 times clockwise and then 10 times in the opposite direction. Then proceed to circular movements of the knees, performing approximately 10 rotations in each direction. Then, using the bed or a chair as a support, carefully perform torso bends to the sides, repeating the exercise 5 times in each direction. It is recommended to complete this complex with smooth torso rotations and 10 shoulder rotations backward. This brief routine, lasting no more than 90 seconds, helps increase joint mobility, reduces morning stiffness, improves balance and coordination, and significantly lowers the risk of falls, especially for individuals with back, knee, or spinal issues. However, physical activation is just one part of the morning ritual. After giving the body the necessary boost to start the day, it's crucial not to overlook another equally important aspect: awakening cognitive functions. It's essential to remember that even excellent physical health pales if the mind is clouded and lacks clarity. There's a stereotype that memory and cognitive decline are an inevitable part of aging, lurking after 65. However, cutting-edge scientific research strongly refutes this long-held belief. Maintaining mental sharpness, quick reflexes, and active thinking is entirely achievable with a smart approach to brain activation at the start of the day. Scientists at the Stanford Center for Longevity emphasize that the morning hours represent a unique golden window for forming new neural connections. In the first half hour after waking up, the brain shows increased receptivity to cognitive stimulation, actively increasing the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein that acts as a kind of fertilizer for brain cells. Remarkably, achieving this effect doesn't require delving into complex mathematical calculations or memorizing foreign languages. There's a surprisingly simple yet powerful exercise to maintain mental clarity, a mental journey through time, specifically replaying the events of the previous day in reverse chronological order. After completing your physical activity, take some time for quiet reflection. Close your eyes and start a kind of movie in your head where you are the main character. Rewind yesterday, starting with dinner, then go back to lunch, and finally to breakfast. Remember the people you interacted with, the actions you took, and the places you visited. Try to reconstruct the sequence of events in reverse, from late evening to morning. As you become more proficient in this technique, increase the challenge by delving into memories from 2 days ago or enriching them with details. Remember your outfit, the weather conditions, your prevailing mood. Scientific studies confirm that such mental exercises help maintain cognitive functions at a level typical of people a decade or even 2 younger. Dedicating just 1 minute each day to short-term memory training becomes a powerful shield against dementia, an insidious disease that, like a shadow, haunts many, causing underlying fear and uncertainty about the future. However, instead of passively succumbing to panic, you can take control of the situation by arming yourself with a simple yet effective tool: regular exercises for the mind. Moreover, by investing just 5 minutes each morning in comprehensive self-care, you lay a solid foundation for a long and happy life. Proper hydration, which stimulates blood circulation and maintains vascular elasticity. Timely protein intake, necessary for building and repairing cells. Maintaining joint mobility, ensuring freedom of movement and preventing stiffness. And activating brain activity, maintaining mental clarity and cognitive functions. All these components combined can radically transform life after 65, filling it with health, activity, and independence.